Ayo! So today I got a little bit of a different video. Instead of a custom fighter review, I wanted to show you how I store all of my Unmatched. So there's a few different storage solutions out there. There's the official one. I've seen people do like a briefcase. I've seen people store them all separately in the different boxes. There's also the 3D printed storage solutions, but none of them really, suited my needs. There's a few different things that each one has that just didn't quite work for me. So today I'm going to show you my super awesome mega storage solution alpha collector's edition V2. So I think to start off with, let's look at my Marvel figures, because I actually fit them all in one box. Yes, all 16 fighters are in here. Their figures, their cards, their health dials, as well as 2 boards and the instruction booklets for them. So let's see how I made it. So before we get started, I did want to quickly point out kind of the requirements I had for the storage solution, because just the other ones weren't working for me. So my storage solution is super easy to store on the shelf. It has all of the figures separated with their miniature, their cards, and their health dials and sidekicks all contained together, so it's easily taken out of the box. And then also it is cheap, and then also works with custom fighters. So let's get started. Okay, so to make this storage solution is actually gonna be real easy. The only thing extra that you're gonna have to pick up is one of these plastic deck boxes here. I got mine on Amazon here, super cheap, and they come in basically every color that you would need. And they also come with 2 dividers that match the color of the box. So you will be using this box to basically house each figure. So each figure will be self-contained in just a little box like this. It's super nice, super easy. And these boxes actually can fit the cards, the figure, the health dial, and the miniature super secure and, with a little bit of wiggle room to keep them safe. But we'll take a look at that in a second. So with these deck boxes, I also wanted to be able to quickly identify, who's in there, what abilities they do, how much health they have. So I actually ended up making custom stickers to put on the top of here. So let's quickly look at one of those. And here is Robin Hood. So this is that sticker I was talking about. I will leave the files for these stickers and the template if you want to change any wording or make one for your custom figure. And I just ended up printing this off on just regular printer paper. I got mine at Walmart. I'll leave a link for the one that I use there, and they work really well. So looking at this sticker here, the way it's laid out, it has the hero's name and the sidekick's name, as well as if they are ranged or melee, and then their health or how many of that sidekick there are. And to quickly grab a different one with Alex and Jabberwock, so since he's just a single sidekick, there is his health on the bottom there. And then also on that sticker, we have a logo from what they are from, since this is kind of like Creative Commons. So I just put the Unmatched logo there. But if it was from Marvel, you would have the Marvel logo in there, as well as Jurassic Park or any other IP that they've collabed with. And then if we keep going here, we can look, there is the hero ability there. So it's super easy to identify, as well as what their move is. So the thing I really like about this is if you have multiple heroes all set up like this, from a distance, you can super easily tell, what characters in each box, what they do, what their health is, and how fast they are. So this has been working really well for not only new, but also old players. Because new players can super easily identify, maybe they want one with, more health, like Sun Wukong here, or lots of sidekicks. If they want someone who has better move, or they like the ability, it's super easy for them to tell and kind of browse your collection and pick their first fighter. Because before that, I had to explain, 30 fighters in a row, and then they were overwhelmed and they didn't know who to pick. So let's see kind of how they actually are stored inside the box. So this one is empty. But let's take a look here. So first thing is we grab the deck here, as well as the hero card. We put that in the back. And then next, I like to put in a divider to keep those separate. And then we will put the miniature in there. But obviously we don't want that miniature just bouncing around and then, all the delicate pieces breaking off. So what I ended up doing is taking the plastic insert that comes with the original game and just cutting out the slot for each fighter. So he just fits in there real snug, so he's nice and protected. And I put him in there, as well as a divider in front of him. So if we take a look, he is sandwiched in between 2 dividers there. and actually ended up taking this storage solution on vacation. So even in a plane bouncing around, I didn't have one figure that even fell out of here or had any damage to them. So this is also super secure. So we got the cards, and then we got the miniature in the middle, and then this last empty section, I like to slide in the health dial and then any sidekick tokens. So they all fit in there. They're all not rubbing against each other or bumping into each other, and they're all self-contained. So I absolutely love this part of the storage solution because it's super easy for people to just kind of grab their fighter and everything is ready to go for them. So I can pull, Unanga out of the box, and I have, all of her stuff all ready to go. And then whenever I'm done with her, I put it all back in, put it in the box, grab a different fighter. So it's super easy to just kind of like swap between fighters, or have everybody pick their fighter real fast so you can get into the game faster. And if you have them all next to each other, it is super easy to tell what everybody does, and it almost looks like a custom fighter like select screen, which I really love. So next I wanted to show you how they fit in the box. And for this example, I'm going to use the Marvel fighters because they just work absolutely perfect. And quickly, let's change the camera angle to wide. Okay, now that I can see a little bit better here, let me show you how I fit all of the Marvel fighters in just one box. So first, if you do Redemption Row, we got Daredevil, Bullseye, and Elektra. And these card boxes work perfectly for Unmatched. This is the bottom of the Battle of Legends Volume 2. And it fits perfectly 3 wide. And then next we have Luke Cage, Moon Knight, and Ghost Rider. And then we have Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, and Cloak and Dagger. And I also want to quickly show you, because Cloak and Dagger is a little bit different here. Their insert fits just perfectly in these deck boxes as well. And then after that we have Winter Soldier, Black Panther, and Black Widow. And then also, a quick pause, I do want to point out these colors just work so fantastic. I mean, Squirrel Girl in orange, Luke Cage yellow, Moon Knight white, so it just also super aesthetically pleasing. And then lastly, we have She-Hulk, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange. And then perfectly, I mean, just look how perfectly this all fits together, we have our single fighter Deadpool. So yeah, so all these fighters all fit in one box, super easy to move around and carry, and also super easy to like look at them all at once. So as I said, for new and old fighters, you can just look and be like, okay, I like Spider-Man, pull him out, that player plays that one, this guy's gonna be Black Panther, your third fighter's gonna be Ghost Rider. But then when you're done, they all just slide back in real easy, and you can get back into your next match and swap your fighters around. So after we have all the fighters placed in there, the way I like to store it is put on 2 maps on top, and then I like to place 4 instruction booklets, just in case, you need to double check a rule or there's a little bit of dispute between you. And then lastly, we can slide on the lid. So yeah, so that's what it looks like when it is all good to go. It does have a little bit of an overlap, but this thing is super solid. I mean, you can jostle it around and it's not gonna fall apart. And as I said, super easy to bring to a friend's house. I mean, if you just take this one box, you have all of your Marvel fighters, 2 maps, and a bunch of instruction booklets for some people if they need to read it. And also fits super easy on the shelf. Definitely heavy when they're all in there. So let's kind of see how we store the other fighters. All right, so in the Battle of Legends Volume 1 box, I keep all of our Creative Common fighters. And I do want to point out, when you store them like this, you also get to see all the gorgeous artwork on the sides. So another small detail that I just love whenever they are on the shelf. So we take a look here, we open it up. I got both of the Volume 1 and Volume 2 manuals here, Houdini and Little Red, because usually these are the ones I have the most questions about, like their abilities. And then our Volume 1 and Volume 2 map, which, as everybody knows, the first one here doubles up as a second map. So technically you have 3 maps in this box. So yeah, if we take a look here, I have Volume 1 set up here, I have Volume 2 there, Beowulf and Little Red, as well as Bigfoot and Robin Hood, and then we have Houdini and the Genie, and then this is a custom fighter, so we can kind of ignore him for now. But we also stored the board for Baba Yaga in here, and then Bruce Lee, which I know is technically not a Creative Common fighter, but he just fit that one slot really well. And then next up, we have the Cobble&Fog box here. This one's always super annoying to me because the images don't match, the colors kind of clash with each other, but you know, it's kind of something they've been doing with all the new boxes. But yeah, so let's take a look at this one, and I do want to quickly point out this one is going to have our Cobble&Fog characters as well as our Jurassic Park characters, and you could also store your Buffy set in here, but I'll show you in a second. I did a little bit differently, but since we're doing the Jurassic Park in here, we have to fit the T-Rex, so I'll kind of show you how I did that. So we open up this one. The instruction manuals are not on top, they're inside, which I'll show you in a second. So this one, I have 3 maps, and then there you go. So I have to kind of store the T-Rex sideways, and his box only has his cards in there because he also has his huge health dial. And this is just the insert for Moon Knight. I have a little something different in his box. So yeah, so here we have Cobble&Fog as well as our 4 Jurassic Park characters. And then if I take these out here underneath the T-Rex, I have all of our extra manuals and then all of our 2-player boards. Okay, and then if you know anything about me, I do love my custom fighters. So in our Buffy box, we can see all those custom fighters. So if I open this up, I got a couple more maps in there. And then here's a good lot of my custom fighters. I got some Marvel characters, some Star Wars characters, Xbox, Dragon Ball Z, DC, and then of the Buffy set on the bottom here. You can technically rearrange the other boxes to fit the Buffy sets in them, but since I got custom fighters, I might as well do them all together. This is kind of where I want to point out why those logos are super nice, because you can kind of tell exactly what where you're picking from. Let's say you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, you can easily see that these 2 are Dragon Ball Z. We got Goku and Vegeta, and of course, once again, you can see Goku is a melee with 15 health. He has a sidekick flying Nimbus, no health. Obviously, I'll have to review him later. That's a little bit different. But Vegeta and Nappa, ranged melee, 14-8, move of 2, and then their special ability. So I just love the way it lays out in the box. And if we grab 2 boxes real fast, you can see that when you place them all together, it's super easy to see all of your fighters, everything they do, their health, their special abilities. I feel like I've explained it like 4 times in a row, but as you can tell, I'm very excited about how this all works together. And then you can also, very conveniently, is that you can kind of swap things around. So let's say you're going to a friend's house, you don't need to bring your entire collection of 60 heroes. So you can kind of swap things out. Let's say, I don't want Goku this time, but I want, to bring Beowulf, or I don't want Malgus, but I do want Sun Wukong. You can just basically bring 16 fighters here and, whatever selection you think works best for your friends. So before I move on, I do want to quickly show the last box, which is another thing of custom fighters. So obviously there's only 4 big box sets, so the only other boxes I had was the Marvel boxes here, and they are quite a bit slimmer, so as you can see, it doesn't fully overlap, but once again, that top's not falling off, you're not going to have any issues. But then again, if I'm going to a friend's house, I'm going on vacation, I'm not going to bring this box, I'll bring one of the others. So if you open this one up, we can see, spin that around, here is more custom fighters. Just from glancing through, there's the crewmates that we saw. There's Sonic and Tails, Negan, Frodo, Kratos, Robocop, TMNT. The way it's all set up, these stickers are super customizable. As I said, I'll leave a link in the description for them. But it's super easy just to customize the logo as well as the move and all that kind of stuff. So it's, it works for even the fighters that you make yourself. Then lastly, I want to point out, I have one white box here. And this guy has quite a few things. It has alternate minis for, let's say this one's for Medusa, as well as I have an alternate mini for Bruce Lee. And then down in the bottom here, I have the doors for the Red Riding Hood map, as well as all the items for the Marvel maps. So if you end up needing those or use them, you can definitely bring them. I rarely ever use the items, so that's where they go with all the custom fighters. And here it is, my collection in all of its glory. I have basically every set all the way up into Adventures, including Bruce Lee and Deadpool here. And then I also have just a butt ton of custom fighters. So I'm so excited. I mean, this is super easily expandable. Maybe I'll post an update photo whenever I get Adventures and see how these fit in that box or how the bosses fit. But yeah, if you want to do this storage solution for yourself, it's super easy. All you really need is to own Unmatched and then pick up some of these plastic deck boxes if you don't already have some. And then I will leave a link in the description for the images and template that I use for the tops here. And then once again, those stickers are just the printer paper that I got at Walmart. I'll also leave a link for those. So yeah, super easy. I gotta go, my toast is burning.